All right. Welcome back. I'm back again. I've been very busy lately. I think I skipped yesterday. I didn't go live. I didn't upload any content yesterday. I think that was the first day in a while. And if you keep up with the news, I got behind. Just in one day. It's pretty crazy. I don't know what's going on, but the nuttery, the attacks, the therapy dogs, everything is just going buck wild right now. But welcome back. Shout out to everybody who's able to join me for this live stream. Drew, Plague in the building, Louise, Ban All Dogs, BJC. Yeah, he said, was wondering if he could get his opinion on the fact that dog owners ruin the public park experience for everybody. Absolutely. And they ruin the experience wherever you are and wherever dogs are. Whether it be at the park, the grocery store, anywhere there are dogs, they're going to ruin the experience. That's why I don't want to see dogs anywhere. Need to be removed from society. And Derek Talbert, greetings. Now, I'm sure nobody has heard of the lady that I'm going to talk about on this live stream, Dr. Samantha Gaines. Dr. Samantha Gaines. Okay, she gave a lot of input on an article that surfaced today. And some of you, I know, have recommended me to this article titled Ticking Time Bomb. Britain's deadly dog attack epidemic is sparked by impulse buys in lockdown as maulings more than double. Now, we've been talking about that here for a while, at least for the past week or so, how dog attacks are going crazy in the UK. A lot of people who are in the UK have filled us in as well here online in the comment section. And this article, kind of lengthy, surfaced today, and a lot of what was written in this article was from Dr. Samantha Gaines. So I want to respond directly to Dr. Samantha Gaines, as I always do here, because I believe that we here on this channel are more of an expert than the alleged experts. I believe we have a stronger grasp on facts, truth, logic, common sense, and education. I believe we here have more education. So let's get into it. Now, Samantha Gaines, Dr. Samantha Gaines, is quite educated. She has her credentials. She's the acting head of Companion Animals Department at the RSPCA. She joined in 2009, manages a team of scientific officers who provide scientific and technical advice and information on companion animal behavior and welfare. As always, I try to find the experts with the most credentials, because I firmly believe, as I've demonstrated several times on this channel, that no matter how much credentials they have, their information is terribly flawed and does not hold up to scrutiny and is not reflected in actual cases. Says she has expertise in a variety of issues which affect the welfare of dogs kept as pets for working purposes and those used in sport. Prior to working at the RSPCA and after gaining an MSc in Applied Animal Behavior and Welfare, Sam worked as a research scientist for the Defense Science and Technology Laboratory. She was involved in various projects studying the behavior, performance, and welfare of working dogs. As well as this, she was awarded her PhD. People, we have a woman with a PhD. Thesis in 2008, University of Bristol. Okay, let's get into it. Let's get into it. And listen, she has been cited by universities. Check this out. She has been cited by university, and this is just tip of the iceberg, right? If you go to the website, you click on this link, and it'll show you a full list. Now, Dr. Samantha Gaines, I know that you respond to articles. I see here in one of your publications, you responded to a standardized psychogenic stressor as an indicator of welfare status. And I hope you respond to this video. I've asked several experts to respond to my critique of their work. I have not gotten a response yet. Let's hope you are the first. Now, this is the article. The title grabbed my attention because this is our language. This is our lingo here in this dark corner of YouTube. We refer to dogs as ticking time bombs, and they are. Animal welfare. So on this article, you read the title, you would think that they're going to explain in detail where these attacks are coming from. But when you look at the headline, they suggest that the attacks are caused by impulse buys. People buying dogs just on impulse, and that's the cause of the attacks. So that sounds to me like the mere presence of dogs is the real cause. But let's see. Animal welfare experts blame the dog maulings on impulse buys. And right away, as soon as the article starts, they go into Dr. Samantha Gaines. I mean, she is cited heavily. She says that the increase of Brits buying puppies in the last 2 years could have caused the high rates of fatal dog attacks. Experts believe that a lockdown puppy explosion could spark a further increase in attacks. So, when I read this, I'm like, okay, so you're saying that the presence of dogs is the cause of the attacks. That does not reflect well on dogs. Right? She's saying, hey, the attacks are being caused because people are buying dogs. People are adopting dogs. Okay, well, that sounds like dogs are a safety hazard and people should not own them. They say 54% increase in dog attacks from 2020 to 2021. People, that is serious. Now, 2020 was the year of COVID, the massive COVID lockdown. That is when everybody was laid off. Listen, people, over the past week, almost everybody at my job has been laid off. As always, though, except for me. I've actually worked some overtime. It's very bad. And they're saying, the lockdown caused the explosion, and it did. A lot of people adopted dogs in the UK and here in the United States. But a 54% increase in dog attacks from 2020 to 2021, that is an epidemic that seriously needs to be looked into. So we should not hear any BS in this article. It's time to get real because this is serious. Okay? It cites some more stats, nearly 3.2 million households. Okay. You see they quoted her. Dr. Sam Gaines also believes that the UK's list of banned dogs. Now, wait a minute. Why are we talking about banned dogs? The UK's list of banned dogs could in fact be fueling the spike, as Brits assume that any other breed of hound is safe. In other words, she's saying that breed-specific legislation, the banning of bully breeds, contributes to the increase in dog attacks. Huh? Doesn't that sound kind of odd? Hey, it is because you're banning pit bulls, that's why there's an increase in dog attacks. Okay, why? Okay, they point out how dog attacks have been increasing year by year. And as I said, they jumped over 50% in 2 years or 1 year from 2020 to 2021. And by 50% over 4 years. Hospitals saw a tripling of youngsters being admitted. Metropolitan Police reported 14% increase in recorded dog attacks 2020-2021. Okay? Keep this in mind. She said that banning certain breeds could be fueling the spike. So she is trying to push for bully breeds to be legal, to remove all bans on bully breeds. And she's saying that that is going to help to reduce dog attacks? Okay. Dr. Samantha Gaines stressed that without more information regarding each dog's behaviors and the circumstances of each attack, it is impossible to say what the cause could be. Okay? She's saying it's impossible to say what the cause of these attacks are because we don't have enough information regarding each dog's behavior and the circumstances of the attack. Now, what does that sound like to you? It sounds like you can almost finish this article yourself. Okay? We need the circumstances of the attack. We need more information. We need to test the dog. Could that be it? Said, but what we don't do, she said the attacks are horrible. But what we don't do is actually ever take evidence from that particular incident. In most cases, when there's been a fatality and serious injury, the dogs tend to get killed at the location of the incident. So she's saying that there is a failure to examine the dog's behavior, because usually the dog is killed on sight. So because we don't have a chance to examine and test the dog's behavior, we don't know the true cause of the attack. Forget about the cause being the fact that the dog is there. She's saying you have to examine and study the dog's behavior, run some tests, some temperament tests on it, so on and so forth. RSPCA, along with others, have been calling for there to be more thorough investigations around the factors that lead to these sorts of, you see why this infuriates me right here? Talking about these investigations. We need to investigate. No, we don't need any more investigation, in my opinion. Quote, now this is from Dr. Gaines, including taking the dog away for behavioral assessments to try to understand what it is that actually led to an attack. What is this? So we have to test the dog's behavior? For what? Well, I mean, what kind of test are you going to run on it? This article had me scratching my head. Now look at this. This is in quotes. Dr. Samantha Gaines said this. Throughout the lockdown, we were spending more time in close proximity to pets anyway. Okay. Without having more information about the incidents, it's very difficult to say what has caused them and what it actually is a result of the pandemic and lockdown. Where there has been that investigation around the dogs that have been involved in fatalities, we have seen that, look at this, breed is not a key factor. Okay? Where there has been that investigation around the dogs that have been involved in fatalities. Y'all see that? Fatalities. She's saying fatalities. She's being specific here. When dealing with fatalities, she said that breed is not a key factor when it comes to these sorts of incidents. It's actually much, much more to do with a range of management issues. Y'all already know where this is going. For example, dogs that are not necessarily cared for appropriately may be subject to some sort of abuse. A whole load of factors around housing and management, also relating to the victims themselves, that tend to co-occur alongside these fatalities. Breed is not one of the key factors in this. Man, oh man, we have heard this time and time again. When they want to investigate the attacks, they assume that the dog has been somehow mistreated, abused, or, as you see here, they want to point the finger at the victims and say, hey, well, maybe it was something that the victim did to the dog. If not that, then the dog was mismanaged, was not properly housed, not properly fed. It's something you did to the dog. Has nothing to do with the dog just being a bloodthirsty, violent creature with a very bad temper that has a million triggers. Nothing to do with that. Isn't it incredible how they treat dogs as if dogs are just these sophisticated, intelligent, and very civilized creatures that just want to mind their business and be peaceful and not bother anybody? They talk about dogs as if dogs are the most peaceful and civilized creatures in the world, and that when they attack, oh, it has to be because of something you did to it. Some type of mismanagement on your part. Dogs are the only animals that receive this type of treatment, consideration. The RSPCA are calling for a change in legislation to the act and are strongly opposed to any breed-specific legislation. Now, this article has turned into a campaign to remove bans on bully breeds. Now, how did she pull that off? How in the world did she segue into that? Well, look at her Twitter. You can imagine. You can invite her to talk about the sun, moon, and the stars. And somehow the conversation will end up about breed-specific laws and how they should be removed. No crime, big punishment. And behind these bars is what? A bunch of bully breeds. So sad. This is so sad. Bending over backwards to protect these child killers. Bending over backwards to give these child and baby killers every opportunity to mutilate more children and babies and adults and the elderly. Y'all just want to give these violent, dangerous creatures the best possible opportunity to kill someone. I just don't get it. I don't get it. So she's talking about breed-specific legislation being the cause of dog attacks. People, how does that make sense? Can you believe that? Wow. She added, we've seen over the past 30 years, people seeking treatment for dog bites at a hospital is increasing. But the number of dogs that are prohibited, that are involved in a fatality is very small. Do y'all see that? She said the number of dogs that are banned, that are involved in a fatality is very small. Then she said, so having this breed-specific focus is in itself really dangerous for public safety, because it suggests to the public that these types of dogs are dangerous and any other type of dog is safe. Right? So she's saying that the public is getting the impression that only bully breeds are dangerous and all other dogs are safe. Do y'all really think the general public is that dumb, that naive, where they don't believe that a German Shepherd is dangerous? Where they don't believe that dogs other than bully breeds can attack? That sounds like nonsense to me. Everybody knows that all dogs can attack and do attack. I'm sorry, ma'am. I'm not ready to assume that position. I'm not going to accuse the general public of being that naive and dumb. Says, what we are particularly concerned about is that leads people to think that they can do anything, any sort of interaction with those dogs. Okay? So now she's saying, oh, she's already talking about human behavior. She's already now pointing the finger at the person's behavior, the child's behavior. You see on the front of the article, they got Bella Ray Birch, and I forgot this young man's name. I covered this case last year. He was killed last year. I think it's Jack Lease. Y'all remember him. And Bella Ray Birch, this is a recent fatality. Okay? She's saying we're concerned that the bans on bully breeds leads people to do whatever they want with the legal dogs. I'm not going to say that the general public is that dumb. Stop. I don't buy that one bit. She continues. She says, and you end up with people potentially showing high risk behavior as expected. It's something you did. Oh, the child was bothering it. You had to have been harassing the dog or something. You did something to it. Blame the victim. Ma'am, if you're listening, on this channel, we have looked at well over 100 videos of children being attacked. We've watched the attacks on video. We have never seen a dog attack a child in response to a child bothering it. Just a side note. Okay, so she's directly pointing the finger at the behavior of the victim right now. Pretty incredible. Any dog can be a danger. Any dog will use aggressive behavior if they feel they're in a situation where they feel they need to. We really want to see legislation that identifies certain types of dogs as being more dangerous than others completely. Listen, people, how did we get to this discussion? How is this even acceptable? You show a photo of two kids that were killed. This is an article about dog attacks, and you sitting here pleading that bans on bully breeds be removed. Am I missing something here? What is this? So we don't think that focusing on certain types of dog is effective. Okay. Are you qualified to say something like that? How about we talk to some doctors? How about that? Let's ask the doctors about the breed of the dog that attacked the victims that they treated. That's a more reliable source. We'll get to it. We'll get to it here shortly. She said, the Kennel Club also wants owners of dogs with a history of aggression to be required to undergo training. So the dogs that have attacked someone need to undergo training. As we've talked about several times on this channel, every dog that's adopted out of a shelter passed a temperament test. How many dogs attacked someone that came out of a shelter? Too many to remember. Those temperament tests are worthless. Here we go again. The problem with the legislation is that it suggests those 4 breeds that are banned are dangerous while the others are not. Again, I don't think the public is that naive. It's a lengthy article. The reality is that in a given circumstance, any dog can be a danger to children. That's a direct quote. The Blue Cross added, the dog control bill we're calling for could include more powers for police to intervene at an early stage if there are problems with a particular dog. Focus of this new law should be education and prevention, allowing officers to step in at the first sign of trouble. Blah, blah, blah. Now, let's go back here. Let's go back here for a second. where she said dogs involved in fatalities, the breed is not a key factor. Really? She said the number of dogs that are banned that are involved in a fatality is very small. Listen, we're talking about bully breeds, are we not? That's what I'm talking about. Pit bulls and all other bully breeds. She's talking about the behavior. How are you behaving? Now, this is, you guessed it, a list of fatal dog attacks in the UK. Boy, oh boy. People, it's that easy. It is that easy to debunk a decorated expert. You know, the internet works wonders if you know how to use it. Now, keep what she said in mind. The number of banned dogs that are involved in fatality is very small. And she said breed is not a factor when you look at these fatalities. Okay, these are fatalities. What type of dog was it? Bully breed. 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 Not known yet. Likely bully breed. Huh? Bully breed. Bully breed. Bully breed. Bully breed. These are fatalities in the UK, ma'am. Bully breed. 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 What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And when you look at the circumstances, in each case, you clearly see that it was an unprovoked attack. Totally unprovoked. You want to continue? Let's continue. Bully breed. 2 bully breeds. Bully breed. Bully breed. Bully breed. This is sad. Bully breed. What is the Mastiff? Bully breed. 2 bully breeds. Huh? What happened? What happened, ma'am? You have a PhD. You have all these credentials. You have all this education. Yet you gave us the wrong information. You gave the public flawed information. How? All you had to do was research. And listen, Rottweilers are bully breeds. Bully breed, bully breed, bully breed, bully breed. Bully breed, bully breed, bully breed. Are you kidding? Breed-specific laws can't come fast enough. You know, when you look at the actual cases, the facts. See, I didn't have to show this. I didn't have to show this. The people who follow this channel already knew this information because we cover the actual attack cases. Something that most or no media outlet does. So, ma'am, why did you say that? Why did you say that breed is not a factor in these fatality cases? Why did you say it? Do you feel that saying that, did you sort of serve justice to these victims? Jack Leese, Bella Ray Birch, That's a disservice to the public. Aren't you sworn to serve the public? Or are you just sworn to serve dogs at the expense of the public? Why did you say that? Why did you say that breed is not a factor when it comes to fatal dog attacks? Not only are they bully breeds, people, look at the ages of the victims. 12 days old, 10 years old, 3-month-old. Ma'am, when you talk about the behavior, and people, let's be clear, she goes deep into the behavior of the children as being the cause of the accident. This is some chart that is on the RSPCA website that she has been promoting. Look at what it says. How kids should not interact with dogs. Avoid bothering dogs when they're eating. Avoid taking a dog's bone or toys. Avoid putting your face right up to a dog's face. Now, it's interesting that this is mentioned because on this website, on an article that she wrote, this is the article titled "The Internet Images That Put Children at Risk." She used this photo in the article. You see, her name is right there. By Dr. Samantha Gaines. Your eyes do not deceive you. She said one of the risks is putting their face right up to a dog's face. Haven't we also heard that you should not hug dogs? Look at what she's promoting. What is this? Ma'am, why? Don't you think the public deserves better than this? With the Christmas holidays just around the corner, it's likely that dogs and children will be spending more time together. And as parents, it is important that we understand how dogs and children can interact safely and be able to understand what our dog is trying to tell us using body language and other signals. So here we go. Look for signs that a dog is irritated, that a dog is annoyed by that pesky child. Ma'am, every video of a dog attack on a child that we've watched well over 100. Every video, the child is minding his or her business, and the dog comes out of nowhere and launches an attack. Ma'am, that's not only the case in the actual videos that we saw with our own eyes. That's the case in every dog attack case that we've covered where there is not a video report available. In articles that we simply read, they are all unprovoked. But this is the content in that article. She says, the number of these cute images and the responses that they get demonstrate that many parents think it's acceptable to allow their children to play with dogs in a way that many dogs will find threatening or frightening. And the dogs could respond by snapping or biting. So she's prepping you, prepping the public, so that when an attack happens, you will immediately think the child must have done something. He must have done something. This rhetoric, sets the foundation to protect dogs by blaming the children for being attacked. More worrying, the article says, more worrying still, many appear to not be able to recognize the signs of a dog that is uncomfortable, upset, or telling the child that they want to be left alone. Oh, that pesky little devil child. What did you do? So as soon as an attack take place, when you brainwash yourself on this expert's rhetoric, you immediately walk into the room and say, what did you do? Well, what were you doing to it? We're talking about the same animals that threaten random people that it sees. A creature that sits there and threatens by barking at any and everyone, growling at any and everyone. We're talking about creatures that attack other animals on sight. Horrible tempers. We're talking about animals that, even according to the experts, have 1,000,000 triggers. Don't look it in the eye. Right? Don't pet on the top of the head. Don't get too close. Don't move too fast. Oh, you move too fast. Unpredictable body movement. You have to move in slow motion. This is also on that website. Dogs and children communicate differently. From a dog's point of view, children communicate differently to adults. Children cry, yell, shriek, crawl, and run about, flailing their arms. Oh, you made the dog scared, so it attacked you. You're being a child. So to accommodate, to prevent you from being attacked, you have to stop behaving like a child. You have to stop exploring the world with your hands. Humans explore the world, our surroundings, with our hands. Touch, grab, feel, manipulate. That's natural instinct. Has nothing to do with misbehavior. Thus, a dog has no place inside of the home. End of discussion. The cause of these attacks is the presence of the dogs. And like I said, these dogs launch attacks on these kids when these kids have done nothing to them. Ma'am, do you really want to disagree with that? Or do we need to go through and look at the ages of some of these victims, and you can see that they were babies, totally incapable of bothering these things. A 12-day-old baby? Can you explain to us, ma'am, exactly what a 12-day-old baby could have been doing to a dog? Was this baby running around, flailing his or her arms, making unexpected movements, making the dog feel threatened and scared, nervous? The baby, huh? What was a 3-month-old baby doing to a mutt? What was a 2-month-old baby doing to a mutt? Huh? How do you explain these attacks? See, these experts, they don't cover all bases. They go on and on about the behavior of toddlers, and they completely ignore the attacks on infants because they can't blame the infant. And if they focus their attention on the infants, they would be forced to confess that dogs attack simply because they are bloodthirsty predators that get off on attacking, that love to kill and mutilate. It's in their genes. Ma'am, you want to continue going through these ages? 6-month-old, 11-month-old, this baby right here, 6 days old. Okay, you forgot to cover these bases. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Now you need a whole new line of explanations. Why are your innocent, harmless pooches that don't bother anybody, just want to be left alone in peace, why are they attacking infants? Okay, why? Look at this. Children often treat dogs as their peers. They hug, cuddle, hold, and scold them. Children express affection for their family through close facial contact, kissing. While this may seem sweet, a dog may find this threatening, and it can be quite dangerous. Exactly why dogs should be illegal to own, especially for people who have children. If a human being's natural way of being affectionate, expressing love, is taken as threatening to a deadly predator, it means that deadly predator has no place in that home. There is nothing else to talk about. On top of that, let's go back to this breed-specific legislation that you want removed. Let's go back to this breed-specific legislation that you want removed. Ma'am, on this channel, I shared a list of dozens of doctors who explained clearly that when bully breeds attack, they inflict far more damage. They're different from other dogs in the sense that when they bite, they hold on. As dogbites.org, I think, puts it, they don't let go. They clamp down and shake to cause maximum damage. Isn't that right? They cause far more damage. One statistic said that dog attack victims who spent 6 to 8 days in the hospital, 100% of those victims were attacked by a bully breed. Patients who stay for 3 days, something like over 85% of them attacked by bully breeds. Numbers don't lie, ma'am. Facts don't lie. The doctors don't lie. And I'm going to rely on the doctors. I'm going to refer to the actual cases to the actual victims who had to grow up mutilated with a disfigured face, all because people like you want the creatures that are responsible for these horrendous attacks, you want them to roam freely in society. You want these creatures inside the homes of these children. And most children are attacked inside the home by the family dog. You, along with others, are supporting these attacks. You are actively supporting these attacks. You are working hard, bending over backwards to ensure that attacks like this continue to happen. And after each attack, the only thing you want to talk about is the child's behavior, or should I say, alleged misbehavior. From this seat, that is evil. It's evil. And we specialize in calling out that evil on this channel. So it is nice to meet you. We are the Crusaders. If you disagree with anything that I objected to, if I got any of the information that you shared, if I got any of this information wrong, feel free to correct us. But as of right now, your credibility has been tarnished. Ma'am, it has been tarnished. Your information has been debunked. Not by me, but by the actual facts. You flat out gave us misinformation, which is essentially lying to the public. I mean, this is a blatant, bold-faced lie. Before you write or say something like this, that breed is not a factor, don't you think it's smart to do a little research first? I mean, why? How could you be that irresponsible as a professional with so much education? If you're saying that breed is not a factor, can you refer us to the source of information you got that from? Because it's not coming from the doctors. It's not coming from the actual reports. Seems like you're just pulling this information out of thin air. That is not the way it works, ma'am. You're going to have to bring real information, because we are not accepting this babble anymore. This jargon, this rhetoric that gets regurgitated to us over and over, that is not being confirmed by actual cases, not being confirmed by footage of the attacks. Breed-specific laws should not only stay in place, they need to be strengthened. At the very least, they should be strengthened. And bully breeds should not only be banned, they should be systematically exterminated. They have no place on this earth. These are fighting breeds, bred to fight and cause maximum damage when they attack. bred, it's in their genes to not show warning signs before they attack. It's in their genes to want to kill, want to mutilate. Bred in their genes to clamp down and not let go, to hold, shake, to cause maximum damage. It's in their genes to be relentless when they attack. To attack and to be immune to pain. This is the worst type of creature to be attacked by. When they attack, there are reports of people hitting these dogs with bats, and they still don't let go. They've been tasered, stunned, and they still don't stop. It's bred in them. It's in their genes to not stop attacking until the victim is dead. This is confirmed by doctors as well. So if you disagree, ma'am, I don't see what you could possibly disagree with. I don't expect you to respond at all. I expect you, like all the other experts that I've challenged here, to tuck tail and ignore this video. That's fine. But the video is here as evidence that I tried. I tried to reach out to you. I've tried to reach out to all of you and give all of you an opportunity to defend yourself. Right? From that point, it's on you. And anybody new to the channel, I highly suggest you check out the chat room. There's always excellent input. A lot of times input is a lot more relevant and insightful than what I offer here verbally. Yeah, you don't even need to test their behavior. Yeah, exactly. There is nothing to investigate with these dogs. We know how dogs are. You know, part of this article, it's asking the reader to play dumb. As if we all don't know that dogs are dangerous. As I point out all the time, as soon as we see an off-leash dog, even dog lovers know that the public is in danger. A dog off leash, especially if it's a bully breed, off leash, just roaming around, say at a park or a playground, even dog lovers will get on the phone, call animal control. There's a serious emergency. Let's stop playing dumb here. And it does not require that any child bother these dogs. These dogs, as soon as they break free from a leash or a fence, the first thing they do is look for somebody to attack. Man, we've seen it several times on film, on camera. That's the very reason that they break free. They see somebody on the other side of the fence, start digging a hole, jumping. As soon as they get free, they dart straight towards them and attack them. So why are we talking about the behavior of the child? Ma'am, that is evil. Stop it. And it's very disturbing. Who does that? Welcome. Good evening. Beanie girl in the building, Naomi. Man, y'all cheer me up. I'm very thankful that people come in here and cheer me up. Just even by saying hi. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just another, the dog, they're just misunderstood. You're just not reading the dog's body language correctly. That's the cause of the attacks. Yeah, people are so lost, and it's so sad. It's so sad. Some of these people, I don't think are really lost. I think some of these people, some of them actually know that they're pushing false narratives. But because that's just what you're supposed to say as a dog lover, they push it anyways. They don't care that they're helping to maintain attacks like this. Yeah, exactly. The article that I read, they're basically saying that all dogs are dangerous, not just bully breeds. They admit it, and they admit that all the time. They always admit to that. She just gave it a nice little twist by saying that banning bully breeds is the cause of an increase in dog attacks, and that breed is not a factor in fatalities. Even though we just looked at the fatalities, almost all bully breeds. You can't make this stuff up. Yeah, and that's the rule. It's not the dog's fault. Blame the owner. Yeah, sure, the owner spent several thousands of dollars on training the dog. That doesn't mean the sleeping baby didn't do something to the exactly. What about the sleeping babies, ma'am? How do we explain this? What did the baby do? The baby made a sound? Oh, well, babies make high-pitched sounds. Okay, so you got a deadly predator in the house that attacks when it hears a high-pitched sound. Sounds like something that has no business inside the home. That's what that sounds like to me. Man, oh man. What's wrong? What's wrong with these people, man? This is getting scary. And it's the same story no matter how many experts you run across. They push the exact same narrative. Unbelievable stuff. So I'm not trying to intimidate you or disrespect you, Dr. Samantha Gaines. Trying to engage you. And we are trying to help educate the public and give them the facts, give them the truth that even they can do further research on. They can validate everything that we're saying and sharing with them here. Truth is power. A bunch of babble that can't be substantiated by reality does nothing but harm the public, does nothing but make them go out to a shelter and adopt a bully breed so you can come home and mutilate a baby, a toddler, anyone. That's not the type of lifestyle that we need to be promoting. So feel free to chime in and give your thoughts, as well as everybody else. If I forgot to mention something, they always keep me on my toes. I'm very grateful and thankful to all the supporters here. And I will see you all on the next live stream as we continue with this crusade.